Hey guys, welcome back to Filter Coffee Football. I am absolutely buzzing today because I'm recording this after watching the Arsenal-Tottenham match. I'm not going to talk about that right now. I'm going to wait for Karthik for that. But before we get into that, today we're going to talk about two important results, which was Leicester's draw against Burnley and Liverpool's draw against Brentford. Really surprising results those. But before we dive in, I want to remind you to like, share and subscribe. Help us grow as a channel. Keep giving us advice. Just help us build our content up, and also follow us on Instagram at FilterCoffeeFooty. Without wasting any more time, let's dive right in. Leicester 2, Burnley 2. Now, this match was a cracker. For all intents and purposes, Leicester should have come across this match winning nice and easy. Burnley really struggled against an Arsenal side that was still trying to find its feet. And again, Leicester's still not in the best of forms, but you would argue that they are still one of the better teams in the league. Unfortunately for them, their match started out with an own goal by none other than Jamie Vardy, which is surprising because you always associate with him with goals on the other side of the pitch. And lo and behold, he did come back through with two goals for Leicester later on in the match. Two incredible finishes. With him, there's just never any doubt. The problem seems to be for Leicester, though, is that he's the only player that seems to be clicking at this point. Tielemans had a decent game. Harvey Barnes still struggling to really get himself involved in the attacking sense. Maddison came on late in the match as well, and even he just seems to be lost at this point. I've said this before, I say this again. I see exit signs for Maddison all over the place. Speaking about Burnley though, they had an absolutely amazing performance. They did not sit back, they were not defending deep, they actually took the game to Leicester. This game looked a lot like Villa versus Manchester United, where even though Manchester United had the lion's share of the possession, they dominated on the ball, they created more of their chances, they created more shots on goal as well. Villa still seemed like they were in the match. Same thing with Burnley. They did not seem like they were just sitting at the back and trying to absorb the pressure. They actually went forward. They had a really high press, and Leicester honestly could not handle that. Burnley, if they possibly had a little bit more quality, they would have finished more of their chances. And speaking of quality, Maxwell Cornet, what an opening goal in the Premier League. That strike was absolutely amazing. The control on the volley, the finish, hands down one of the best goals that any player in Burnley has probably scored. Unfortunately, he did get injured and had to be subbed off before halftime, which again, not boding well for Burnley because they really do need someone with quality right now. The only player that they really have out and out is probably Dwight McNeil, who gives them some sort of quality. So hopefully it's not a serious injury and Maxwell comes back super soon because they desperately need a player like that on the pitch. But Burnley kept pushing on. They kept playing their football. They kept kind of taking the game to Leicester. Leicester had to find some solutions. Iheanacho finally managed to set up a goal for Jamie Vardy, but I don't remember him being particularly memorable outside of that. Ademola Lookman got a start this game, but again, not the best debuts for him. He was probably hoping to get himself started on the good side of the Leicester fans, given the intensity of the fixture. Burnley traditionally is a side that you expect to absorb a lot of that pressure, which is probably why Brendan Rodgers picked the starting 11 that he did. To his surprise, that just wasn't the team that he was going to get up against. Patson Daka has still not started. When he first came on, when Leicester announced the signing, I thought that was an amazing buy. He has a lot of potential, has been doing amazing in Salzburg. He basically took the helm after Erling Haaland left the club, but so far he's had no game time. I don't even think he's made a substitute appearance if I'm not mistaken. So hopefully he can get up and running and get some more game time, because Leicester really need some sort of attacking depth, because right now Jamie Vardy is the only one kind of picking them up and dragging them along. The defense hasn't been doing particularly well either, which is probably a big part of why Leicester is still struggling. Not the best start to them. Typically you associate them as the team who have an amazing start and then tail off towards the end of the season. But with this start, if they are not able to fix this quick, I don't even see them competing for top 6 this season. That's saying something. But yeah, lots of other teams have had a much better start coming in, so Leicester really need to clean up their act. But yeah, Sean Dyche again coming clutch for their team. A very important draw this season. I mean, again, thin squad, lots of teams coming out of the rafters playing really good. I think the only team that looks really in danger of relegation right now is Norwich. All the other teams are looking like they have the grit to fight through, so Burnley really are going to have to step up their game, and they have Sean Dyche in there. Please go ahead and check our video with comments on why we think Sean Dyche is a very underrated manager. But yeah, moving on to the biggest surprise. Well, maybe not as big as Manchester United's result, but Brentford 3, Liverpool 3. Now, this match should have had a beating, a thrashing possibly even, written all over it. I certainly thought that this would be just another stroll in the park for a team like Liverpool, who have recently come across as being very dominant. We're seeing the Liverpool of the old, a lot of that attacking flair, a lot of that determination on the ball, a lot of high energy play, a lot of solid defensive performances as well. But this match was just completely unexpected. I mean, Brentford really took the game to Liverpool. They only had 33% of the possession, but they made it count. They pressed them high. They had good attacking movements. Ivan Toney caused all sorts of problems for that Liverpool defense. I mean, I have never seen Fabinho and Van Dijk look so average on the pitch. Some of the finishes were absolutely incredible on both teams. Mohamed Salah obviously got his 100th goal. What a legend. 100 Premier League goals and 100 Liverpool goals within the last couple of weeks. An absolute legend. Hands down, the best winger the Premier League has seen, in my opinion. We're going to have a discussion on that pretty soon, and we would love to have you guys involved on that. So yes, stay tuned for that one. But that wasn't enough. I mean, Brentford just kept coming back. I mean, they started off with the scoring. They looked the more likely team up until that first goal came along, which was absolutely surprising. The Brentford fans are being incredible for that team right now. They're showing all their support, and the Brentford team really seems to be absorbing that. With these kind of performances, Brentford are so ready to stay up in the Premier League. The question is, will they be able to keep up this kind of intensity? It has lots of the shades of Norwich when they first came up. Some really impressive results. The win against Manchester City, but they still ended up going down. So here's hoping that Brentford kind of don't follow through on that same route. On Liverpool's side, though, Jurgen Klopp will be really disappointed. On a game day where Chelsea lost, Manchester City, who already kind of had a sketchy start to their season, were only just making a comeback. And Manchester United also dropped some valuable points. This was Liverpool's chance to go 3 points clear at the top. Instead, they only find themselves 1 point off. So even though they do sit at the top of the table, I'm pretty sure Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool team will not be particularly thrilled about that situation. Not that they need to really up their game in any real sense. They've been playing really good. I think this was just a one-off performance. They should definitely be able to bounce back from this. The attack looks like it's getting better and better. Diogo Jota looks like he's really gelling into the team. Sadio Mane is still struggling for some form. I do believe that Harvey Elliott's miss was going to be a big factor going forward, because he really seemed to be a fixture for this new Jurgen Klopp midfield. But then up steps Curtis Jones. Now, I don't think he's as good as Harvey Elliott, but that strike was absolutely incredible. That goal to send them up was, I mean, that's exactly how you want to hit a ball when you're trying to shoot from outside the box, correct? It was a little bit lucky. It did take a deflection. I believe the keeper would have saved it if not for that slight deflection from the defender. But nonetheless, he will hold on to that goal, and he will take it home with pride. But yeah, Liverpool still not the best result. They should have been hoping for a win. They should have been hoping for a significant win. But Brentford kept them at bay, and Brentford are definitely the winners for this match. So that was our look at fixtures this weekend. We are going to cover the North London derby as well, but that's going to come a little bit later on. That's going to be a really cracking video because we're gonna all going to be buzzing on that one. But yeah, in order to make sure you watch that video, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that alert icon as well so that you get notified when our video goes on. And yes, like, share, comment down below, and also follow us on Instagram at filtercoffeefooty. It's been an absolute pleasure. Take care, guys. Have a great day. Bye.